The year was 4291, when the Galaxy Council made the one mistake no civilization ever survives. They executed a human child, Arin Solis, simply for touching an ancient artifact. The Council thought Earth was weak, silent, irrelevant. But what they didn't know was that humanity's bloodline still carried an ancient power. The moment that child died, a forgotten protocol awakened beneath Earth's crust. Oceans split, the ground trembled, and humanity's ancient fleet, a super armada older than the Council itself, rose into the sky. Earth isn't sending diplomats. Earth isn't sending warnings. You harmed our child. Now the entire galaxy will answer for it. The Galaxy Council Academy floated above the surface of Varel Prime like a gleaming crown, an orbital ring of silver, glass, and humming energy fields. It was the safest place in the galaxy. The most protected. The most monitored. And today, it became the site of a tragedy that would ignite a war. Arin Solis walked through the Academy's central hall with that careless curiosity only a 12-year-old could have. Wide-eyed, brilliant, and endlessly excited, he carried a small datapad pressed to his chest while his feet danced impatiently on the polished floors. Humans had only recently begun sending their children to council academies, and Arin was the first to be accepted into the Precursor Studies program. He loved it. The hall itself was massive, crystalline pillars that shifted colors with every footstep, floating banners showing the symbols of 50 different species, and in the center, a circular platform containing relics from forgotten ages. But one artifact drew him in more than any other. A stone-like metallic sphere, etched with glowing lines that pulsed faintly like a heartbeat. No alarms. No warnings. No barriers. Just a simple sign. Unclassified relic. Do not touch. Arin laughed softly. I just want to look. I'm not touching it. He leaned closer. The sphere responded, not to touch, but to his presence. The lines brightened. A soft hum vibrated through the air. Then a whisper. Not audible. Not logical. Something older than language. A swirl of symbols flashed before his eyes, forming patterns only a mind like his could decipher. For a brief, impossible moment, the sphere recognized him, recognized his DNA. Recognized humanity. And then the hall lights snapped to red. Human child, step back immediately, barked High Protector Zelther, his towering reptilian form emerging with a squad of armored guards. Arin stumbled away from the sphere. I didn't touch anything. I swear. But Zelther's cold eyes didn't waver. Genetic activation detected. Unauthorized. Illegal. Dangerous. Students scattered. Sirens blared. Energy shield sealed the exits. Arin felt his chest tighten with fear. I didn't mean to, what did I do? 2 guards grabbed his arms. He struggled, terrified. Let me go. Please. Call my mother. Call Earth. I didn't do anything. But the council did not believe children. And they certainly did not believe humans. High Protector Zelther turned to the guards. By Council Emergency Statute 77, activation of precursor technology by an unregistered species is punishable by immediate termination. Execute the subject. Arin froze. What? No, please. A flash of energy burst from the guard's weapon. A single scream echoed. And then silence. Arin Solis collapsed lifeless onto the cold crystalline floor. The artifact dimmed. The hall went still. Zelther exhaled slowly. Dispose of the body. Seal all records. This never occurred. But the artifact had recorded everything. And somewhere, light years away, on a quiet blue world, Earth felt the death of one of its children. In the underground chamber known only to Earth's oldest leaders, the cradle, vast machines powered on for the first time in thousands of years. Code strips illuminated ancient walls, glowing like veins of molten gold. A single sentence blinked onto every hidden terminal around the planet. Air termination detected. Legacy protocol, unlock. The oceans trembled. The earth itself awakened. And humanity's wrath began. The Pacific Ocean twisted unnaturally, as if something immense stirred beneath it. Satellites across Earth went black one by one, blinded by an energy surge not seen in recorded history. Deep in the cradle, Earth's hidden command chamber thrummed with life for the first time since the last ice age. Holographic symbols, older than any known human language, spiraled into the air. Dr. Arin Solis, Arin's mother, arrived with the rest of the Emergency Science Council. Her face was pale, eyes red from the video message she had received moments earlier. "Your son has been terminated under council statute." She had dropped to her knees screaming before the message even finished. Now she stood in the cradle, numb, trembling, barely breathing. General Cade Morin stepped beside her. "Lyra, I know this is hell. But something is happening to Earth. Something we thought would never awaken." She didn't answer. Not really. Her eyes were locked on a massive screen where the ocean floor scanned itself in real time. "What is that?" she whispered. The sonar image displayed a geometric shape the size of a mountain, no, larger, rising from a trench that hadn't changed in millions of years. A single tone echoed through the cradle. Low. Vibrational. Ancient. Every machine in the chamber responded at once. Legacy fleet initiation in progress. The scientists froze. "No. That's impossible. Those systems are myths, legends. How can they activate now?" The ground heaved, sending ripples across the ocean's surface. 12 immense cracks formed in the Pacific waters, each glowing with an eerie silver-blue light. Lyra whispered, as if speaking to a memory. "Arin, what did you awaken?" Then the sea exploded upward. From the boiling depths rose a leviathan of metal, sleek, angular, with glyphs burning across its hull. Water cascaded off it in shimmering waterfalls as it breached the surface like a mechanical titan. The world watched in paralyzed silence. One ship emerged. Then another. Then dozens. Each one dwarfing the largest modern battleship. Each pulsing with unimaginable energy. And inside the cradle, a hologram flickered to life, an AI projection of a woman made of starlight. Her face was serene. Her voice echoed with layered harmonies. "Descendants of the first makers," she said. "Your command of the legacy fleet is restored." General Morin stiffened. You recognize us?" The AI nodded gently. "Recognition coded into your genome. You are the children of the origin bloodline. The ancient fleet was built by your ancestors to shield you from extinction." Lyra stepped forward. "My son, Arin Solis, was executed by the Galaxy Council. They claimed he activated a precursor artifact." The AI turned her luminous face toward Lyra. "He did not activate it. It activated for him." Lyra's breath caught. "Why? Why him?" The AI's expression softened with something akin to sorrow. "Because he carried the purest genetic signature of the origin bloodline in over 50,000 years. His death triggered legacy protocol." General Morin swallowed hard. "What does that mean?" The AI's eyes gleamed like singularities. "It means the ancient fleet is now fully awakened. Awaiting only one directive, justice." As if answering her words, the sky thundered. The ships rose higher, engines roaring like storms. All 12 dreadnoughts aligned into formation above Earth. Then a beam of light shot upward, transmitting a message into deep space. Across the galaxy, every council communication channel received the same chilling broadcast. "Return the child's body. Surrender his killers. You have 24 hours. The council chambers erupted in confusion and alarm. That can't be Earth. This technology, this is precursor level. How did humanity access this? No species is allowed to wield such power." But Earth wasn't listening. Earth was grieving. Earth was awakening. Earth was angry, and the ancient fleet was ready for war. The Galaxy Council's war chamber shook with shouted voices. Dozens of alien representatives glared at the hologram suspended in the center of the room, Earth's message repeating on a loop. Return the child's body. Surrender his killers. You have 24 hours. A silent threat echoed behind every word. High Protector Zelther slammed his claws onto the table. This is impossible. Earth is a Tier 2 primitive world, barely spaceworthy. They cannot possess precursor dreadnoughts. An insectoid senator clicked nervously. Yet, they do. On the massive screen, satellite feeds showed the ancient fleet rising above Earth's atmosphere like a newly born constellation of metal titans. Their hulls glowed with power signatures older than the Council itself. A whisper went around the chamber. First Maker's technology. This cannot be allowed. Humanity must be contained before they claim their birthright. Zelther hissed. Enough. Earth is bluffing. Their fleet is unmanned, old relics on autopilot. We will destroy them before they leave their system. He raised one hand. Deploy Task Force Zenith. 200 warships. Full engagement authorization. A hush fell. That was the largest rapid response fleet the Council had ever assembled. High Protector, a strategist murmured, if Earth truly commands precursor vessels. Zelther cut him off. Then a simple demonstration will expose their lie. Orders were sent. Engines roared across the void. 200 Council warships jumped toward Sol System, sleek, silver, armed with rail cannons, plasma torpedoes, and quantum destabilizers capable of cracking moons. The galaxy held its breath. Space rippled as the fleet emerged from hyperspace, surrounding the blue planet like a cage of steel. Admiral RHA Cole, commanding the armada, addressed Earth. Human command, this is the Council Navy. You are ordered to stand down immediately or face neutralization. Static answered. The Admiral folded his arms. So be it. Target the leading dreadnought. Fire. 200 warships unleashed their full barrage, missiles, beams, kinetic lances, lighting space with catastrophic energy. The impact shook the cosmos. Smoke and plasma swirled through the battlefield. Silence. Then, the smoke parted. The ancient dreadnought, Aegis Prime, remained untouched. Not a scratch. Its shields glowed faintly, almost lazily. Admiral RHA Cole's mandibles clicked in horror. That defies all physics. Then a voice resonated through every ship's communication channels at once. Deep. Cold. Human. Your attack has been registered. Aegis Prime moved. It didn't accelerate, it simply was here one moment and there the next, its engines bending space-time like fabric. A single beam erupted from its hull. Not explosive. Not fiery. Just pure white light, silent, elegant. Council ships began vanishing. Not detonating, vanishing. Erased cleanly, as though carved from existence by a scalpel. The Admiral screamed. Evasive maneuvers. Retreat. Retreat. Too late. In 48 seconds, the entire Council armada ceased to exist. 200 ships, gone. Earth had used only one. Back on Earth, the AI in the cradle announced calmly. Hostile forces neutralized. Collateral casualties, 0. Arin Solis leaned on the console, trembling. Her son was dead. Her world was in mourning. But for the first time, she felt the faintest spark of justice. General Moran exhaled sharply. They provoked us. Now the whole galaxy is watching. The AI's eyes glowed brighter. The Council will respond with its most powerful weapon. Lyra's heart dropped. What weapon? Space shook across the galaxy as a colossal construct activated, an ancient superweapon orbiting Council Prime. The Starlance. A stellar forge cannon capable of annihilating continents in a single strike. It charged, its core swirling with star matter. Council command broadcast one message. Earth, kneel or be erased. Lyra looked up at the sky. The star lance fired. A beam of raw starfire shot across light years toward Earth. The beam of the star lance tore through the void like a newborn supernova, ripping space open as it surged toward Earth. Entire star systems along its path went dark, their sensors fried by the weapon's impossible energy signature. Every watcher in the galaxy held their breath. Council news networks displayed countdowns. Some species prayed. Others celebrated. Earth could not survive this. No world could. In the cradle, warning lights flared red. Impact in 8 seconds. General Morin stood frozen, staring at the beam streaking across the holographic display. That's enough power to vaporize the Pacific Ocean. The AI's expression never wavered. The ancient fleet is prepared. Lyra Solis didn't move. She stood like stone, her hands trembling, eyes locked on the cosmic inferno approaching her planet. The grief inside her had hardened into something sharp, something cold. Something dangerous. Protect Earth, she whispered. The AI nodded once. Aegis Prime, still orbiting silently above Earth, responded instantly. 12 rune lines on its hull ignited, glowing like molten suns. A shimmering barrier unfolded around Earth. Not a dome. Not a field. But a dimensional veil, bending reality like liquid glass. The star lance struck. A detonation that should have shattered continents. Hit the veil. And dispersed like mist in sunlight. The energy dissipated harmlessly into space. Across the galaxy, billions stared at the live streams in disbelief. Starlance, deflected? By a shield? Humans possess technology that. No one could complete their sentences. Not even the Council. High Protector Zelther was the first to find words. And they were filled with fear. This is impossible. They have First Maker defenses. If they attack us. One of his advisors whispered. They do not need to attack. They only need to decide. Back in the cradle, the AI broadcast a message directly to Council Prime. Its voice echoed across every frequency. Your superweapon has failed. This is your final warning. Surrender Arin Solis's killers and return his body within 6 hours. General Morin added, voice hard as steel. Or we will come for them. Silence followed. Not static. Not interference. A silence full of terror. Meanwhile, Lyra Solis approached the artifact recovered from the Galaxy Academy, the one her son had touched. She reached out slowly, her hand trembling as she activated its memory imprint. Light burst from the relic. The hologram displayed every second of Arin's final moments. The council guards grabbing him. The panic in his eyes. His words. His screams. And the execution. Lyra collapsed to her knees, sobbing silently as the cradle fell into horrified stillness. But the recording didn't end. It continued. A hidden overlay activated, showing encrypted council data logs the artifact had stolen in the moment it recognized Arin's DNA. A message from Zelther himself. If the human child activates it again, we lose control of the artifact. He must be eliminated. Lyra's grief transformed into something new. Not rage. Not vengeance. Purpose. She rose slowly, wiping tears from her eyes. They murdered my son to hide their crime. The galaxy must see this. General Morin nodded grimly. We'll broadcast everything. He turned to the AI. Send it to every world that has ever suffered under the Council. A billion screens lit up across the galaxy, every species watching in shock and fury as the truth was laid bare. Riots erupted on dozens of planets. Armies mutinied. Former council members demanded Zelther's arrest. The galaxy was turning against its rulers. And Earth hadn't fired a single shot. The AI turned to Lyra and Morin. The council will not surrender the killers willingly. General Morin inhaled sharply. Then we take them. The ancient fleet repositioned above Earth, engines humming like slumbering gods. 12 dreadnoughts. Each capable of leveling star systems. Each bearing the seal of the first makers. As they aligned, space itself trembled. Lyra whispered, "Arin, this is for you." The fleet jumped to hyperspace. A jump so powerful it shook the subspace layers of the galaxy. The Council, cornered and desperate, scrambled its last defenses around its homeworld. The final confrontation was inevitable. Humanity was coming. And this time, they were not asking. Council Prime, capital of the greatest political power in the galaxy, had never looked so fragile. The planet's sky was wrapped in 5 concentric war rings, each loaded with enough firepower to flatten continents. Billions of citizens watched from their cities below, trembling as evacuation alarms blared across the streets. For the first time in millennia, the Council feared extinction. Inside the central spire, High Protector Zelther spoke to his generals. "They are coming. The humans are coming. But we will not fall to primitives wielding stolen relics." A general hesitated. "High Protector, if those dreadnoughts truly belong to the first makers." Zelther slammed his claws onto the console. "They belong to extinct ghosts. Humanity is nothing but a shadow. And shadows cannot kill us." But his voice lacked conviction. Because even he had seen the footage. 48 seconds. 200 Council warships. Gone. Now 12 dreadnoughts were on their way. And each one made the Council's entire navy look like toys. High above Council Prime's atmosphere, space-time twisted like a knot being untied. Lightning forked across dimensions. The air vibrated with a frequency that made every living creature on the planet instinctively recoil. Then, boom! 12 colossal ships ripped through hyperspace, forming a silent formation above the planet. They hovered like metallic gods, each the size of a small moon, their hulls covered in burning runes of the first makers. The people of Council Prime looked up and saw their judges. A hush fell across the world. Then a single human voice broadcast across every channel, every screen, every mind link. "This is the ancient fleet of Earth. Stand down your defenses. Hand over Arin Solis's killers. Or we will remove them ourselves." Zelther shrieked. "Fire! Fire everything!" Thousands of plasma lances, torpedoes, disruptor beams, and antimatter rounds fired upward, a waterfall of destruction unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Billions watched in terror as the sky lit up like a second sun. The ancient fleet responded. Not with fear. Not with panic. Not with violence. But with precision. Aegis Prime raised its shields. Translucent domes bending reality. Every war ring attack hit the barrier. And passed harmlessly through, redirected into empty space. The shots didn't even slow the dreadnoughts. Inside the war chamber, silence fell. It's absorbing our fire. No, it's ignoring our fire. What are these monsters? And then the humans acted. 12 dreadnoughts moved in perfect synchronization. They lowered their weapons. Aimed. And fired. Not death beams. Not planet killers. EMP lances. Precision gravity pulses. Fleet neutralizers. Thousands of Council defense platforms blinked out, going dark like candles smothered by wind. The war rings crackled. Flickered. And died. Council Prime was defenseless. General Moran's voice thundered across the battlefield. We will not kill innocents. We are not you. Millions of aliens watching across the galaxy gasped. Humans had every reason to burn the Council to ashes. And yet, they chose restraint. They chose justice. Dropships from the ancient fleet descended like spears of light, slicing through the atmosphere without resistance. They landed directly on the Council spire. Inside, soldiers stormed the halls. Silent, disciplined, unstoppable. Earth's forces encountered minimal resistance. Most council guards had already dropped their weapons. They knew the truth. This was not a battle. This was the execution of a corrupt regime. Zelther tried to flee through a private portal. He didn't get far. A doorway of silver light opened in front of him, and Arin Solis stepped through. Her eyes were hollow with grief, but her stance was unbreakable. Zelther snarled. You humans are abominations. You wield power that should not be yours." Lyra's voice was soft. "Deadly. My son asked for help. You gave him death." She played the artifact's recording. Zelther watched his own conspiracy projected in front of him. Every lie. Every order. Every scream. Council leaders in the chamber looked away in shame and horror. Lyra stepped closer. "You murdered a child to hide your fear." Zelther opened his mouth to speak, but the ancient fleet AI materialized beside Lyra like a ghost of light. "High Protector Zelther," she declared, "you are guilty of conspiracy, murder, and treason against galactic law." Council guards seized him. The galaxy watched in real time. There was no escape. No power left to protect him. No council large enough to hide behind. Other species rose up. Riots spread. Governments rebelled. Entire fleets mutinied. One by one, council members announced their resignation, dissolving the corrupt institution. In less than a day, the Galaxy Council fell. Not through fire. Not through destruction. But through truth. A truth delivered by humanity. A truth triggered by a murdered child. Zelther and the officers who killed Arin were brought before a newly formed Galactic Justice Tribunal, composed not of elites, but of representatives from oppressed species. Verdict: guilty. On all counts. Sentencing was swift. And finally, after days of grief, war, and truth, Arin Solis's body was returned to his mother. Lyra held him, tears falling silently, as the ancient fleet stood guard above the capital of a fallen empire. Her son was gone. But justice had finally come. For the first time in centuries, Council Prime's skies were clear. The war rings were gone. The guns were silent. And above the capital, the ancient fleet hovered like silent sentinels watching over a world learning to breathe again. Billions of citizens gathered in the plazas and streets, not in fear now, but in awe. Earth had come. Earth had fought. Earth had shown mercy. And now, the galaxy waited to see what humanity would do next. In the center of a vast courtyard, beneath a memorial arch still under construction, a silver coffin rested on a pedestal of white stone. Inside lay Arin Solis. Dr. Arin Solis stood beside it, hands trembling but eyes steady. She touched the coffin's smooth surface, her voice a whisper carried by the wind. "I brought you home, my little star." General Morin placed a hand on her shoulder in silent support. Around them, thousands watched, but none spoke. The galaxy owed a debt to this child. To the boy whose death had exposed corruption so deep it infected every star. A soft hum filled the air. The ancient fleet AI materialized beside Lyra, shimmering like starlight. Arin Solis's genetic imprint has been preserved within the legacy archives, the AI said gently. His memory will guide future generations of this galaxy. Lyra bowed her head. Tears fell, but these tears were different. Not grief. Not rage. Peace. Across thousands of worlds, leaders voted on a new interstellar law, the strongest protection ever written. The AI's voice thundered through the Senate Hall. The Arin Accord. No child of any species shall be harmed by government decree or political force. Violation will result in immediate removal of authority. Every planet ratified it. Every species cheered it. For the first time in living memory, the galaxy agreed unanimously on something. And it was because of a human child. Later that evening, leaders from over 90 worlds assembled before the ancient fleet. Representatives bowed their heads respectfully as General Moran and Lyra approached. A Varillian elder spoke first. "Humanity, you have defeated the greatest empire the galaxy has ever seen. You command the might of the first makers themselves." A pause of reverent silence. "We offer you leadership of a new galactic union." The crowd murmured, some hopeful, some fearful. Humanity could rule the galaxy. No power could stop them. General Moran exchanged a look with Lyra before answering. "Earth does not seek to rule," he said. "We seek to protect." Lyra stepped forward. "Power without compassion destroys. My son taught us that." The Varillian elder nodded in emotional gratitude. "Then you will serve as guardians?" General Moran smiled. "As long as the galaxy needs us." And just like that, humanity became not conquerors, but protectors. Weeks later, as the galaxy healed, a final ceremony took place. A star, small, warm, and newly ignited, was formally named Arin's Light. It would shine in the night sky of 100 worlds, a reminder of the child who changed everything. Lyra stood beneath the cosmic projection of the young star, whispering softly, "You will never be forgotten." The AI bowed her luminous head. "His legacy is eternal." As the ceremony ended, the ancient fleet slowly turned away from Council Prime. 12 dreadnoughts aligned like a constellation of steel angels above the stars. A final broadcast echoed across the galaxy. "If ever tyranny rises again, if ever the innocent cry out, Earth will answer." The engines roared, quiet, controlled, full of purpose. The dreadnoughts vanished into the void. Humanity returned home. But the galaxy knew. They were never truly gone. Thus ended the reign of the Galaxy Council, and began the era shaped by a single truth. Never harm a child of Earth. For the galaxy now understood the meaning of one ancient human vow. If you threaten our children, you answer to all of us. The galaxy was quiet. Not the silence of fear, nor the silence of war's aftermath, but the silence of rebirth. Council Prime, once a symbol of oppression, now thrived as the capital of the Galactic Union of Free Worlds. Children of every species, Varillian, Dirac, Kelii, and human, ran through the rebuilt plazas, laughing under the warm glow of Arin's light, the newborn star that honored the boy who changed history. Peace had returned. But it did not return on its own. It was earned. Fought for. Paid for in tears. Arin Solis stood on an observation deck overlooking the sunrise above Earth's blue oceans. Her son's locket hung around her neck, glowing softly as if sensing her heartbeat. General Moran stepped beside her. "The galaxy is safer now," he said softly. Lyra exhaled, not in sorrow anymore, but in acceptance. Safer and wiser. Arin made sure of that. Moran glanced at the horizon where faint, shimmering trails of ancient dreadnoughts stretched across the early light, patrolling the galaxy like silent guardians. "Do you ever think they'll be needed again?" Moran asked. Lyra smiled, a quiet, hopeful smile. "If they are, humanity will answer. But maybe, just maybe, the galaxy has learned its lesson." The AI guardian materialized next to them, her voice warm and melodic. "Peace will hold as long as justice stands. And justice now carries the name Solis." Lyra touched the locket gently. "My son was one child. One voice. And look what he changed." The AI bowed her head. "Sometimes, one spark is enough to light a universe." A gentle breeze swept through the deck as the sun rose fully, bathing Earth in golden light. Across the stars, the ancient fleet glided silently, watching, waiting, protecting. Humanity hadn't become rulers. They had become a promise. And that is how one human child reshaped an entire galaxy. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite moment. Want part 2? Want another HFY story? Or maybe a prequel about the first makers? Just tell me in the comments. Your support helps this universe grow. Until next time, stay curious, stay human, and remember, never mess with Earth's children.